Terry Crews was sitting in his dressing room at NBC Studios in New York, preparing for another taping of America's Got Talent, when his assistant knocked on the door with a special delivery. "Terry, this came through our fan mail service, but it's marked urgent, and the return address says it's from a senior living facility in Buffalo," Maria said, handing him a handwritten envelope. The envelope was addressed in shaky handwriting, and Terry could tell immediately that it was from an elderly person. He opened it carefully and began reading. "Dear Mr. Crews, my name is Dorothy Washington and I am 90 years old. I live at Sunset Manor Senior living in Buffalo, New York. I hope you don't mind me writing to you, but I had to tell you something important. For the past 3 years, since my husband James passed away, I've been very lonely and sad. The other residents here are nice, but I felt like I had nothing to look forward to each day. Then my granddaughter showed me your show, America's Got Talent. At first, I wasn't interested, but then I saw how kind and encouraging you are to everyone, especially people who are scared or nervous. You remind me so much of my late husband. He always made everyone feel special too. Watching you on TV has become the highlight of my week. You make me smile again, and that's something I thought I'd never do after James died. You've given this old lady hope and joy. I know you probably get thousands of letters, but I wanted you to know that you're my hero. Not because you're famous, but because you have a good heart. With love and gratitude, Dorothy Washington P.S. I've been trying to convince the other ladies here to watch your show. Now we have a weekly viewing party every Tuesday." Terry felt his eyes well up as he finished reading. He immediately called Maria back into the room. "Maria, I need you to help me contact this senior living facility in Buffalo. I want to call Mrs. Washington personally." "Of course, Terry. Should I arrange for flowers or something to be sent?" "Let's start with a phone call, but I'm thinking we might need to do something bigger than flowers." That evening, Terry called Sunset Manor. The facility director, Linda Rodriguez, was shocked to receive a call from the celebrity. "Mr. Crews? Is this really you? Mrs. Washington is going to be beside herself. I got her letter today, and I had to call. She sounds like an amazing woman. Would it be possible to speak with her?" "She's in the community room watching TV with her friends. Let me get her." A few minutes later, a warm, elderly voice came on the line. "Hello, this is Dorothy. Mrs. Washington, this is Terry Crews. I got your beautiful letter today." There was silence. Then Dorothy began to cry softly. "Oh my goodness. Terry, is this really you, honey?" "It's really me, Mrs. Washington. I wanted to thank you for your letter. It touched my heart, more than you'll ever know. I can't believe you called." "Me, the girls here are never going to believe this." Terry could hear excited chatter in the background as word spread through the community room. "Mrs. Washington, you said in your letter that I remind you of your husband James. Can you tell me about him?" For the next 30 minutes, Dorothy shared stories about her late husband, how he was a mechanic who always helped neighbors fix their cars for free, how he volunteered at the local church, and how he made everyone feel like family. He used to say that being strong wasn't about muscles. It was about having a big heart, Dorothy said. "That's why you remind me of him so much." Terry was deeply moved. "Mrs. Washington, would you mind if I shared your story? I think people need to hear about the kind of love and wisdom you and James had." "Oh, honey, you can do whatever you want. I'm just honored you called." Before hanging up, Terry made a promise that would change Dorothy's life. "Mrs. Washington, I'm going to be filming in New York next week. Would it be okay if I drove up to Buffalo to meet you and your friends?" The excited screams from the community room could be heard through the phone. The following week, Terry made the 4-hour drive from New York City to Buffalo. He brought his entire production team to document the visit, with Dorothy's permission, hoping to create something special for his social media followers. When Terry arrived at Sunset Manor, the entire facility was buzzing with excitement. Dorothy, dressed in her best purple dress and pearl necklace, was waiting in the lobby with about 20 other residents. "There's my hero!" Dorothy exclaimed as Terry walked through the doors. Terry immediately went to Dorothy and gave her the gentlest hug. "Mrs. Washington, you look absolutely beautiful." "Oh, stop it. You're making this old lady blush." Terry spent the next 3 hours at Sunset Manor. He sat with Dorothy and her friends, listening to their stories about their families, their careers, and their late spouses. He learned that Dorothy had been a teacher for 40 years, that she had 5 grandchildren, and that she still volunteered to read to children at the local library despite her age. "You know what, Mrs. Washington?" Terry said during their conversation. "You're the real hero here. You've touched thousands of lives. As a teacher, you're still helping children, and you've created a family here with your friends." Dorothy's eyes filled with tears. "Terry, you don't understand. Before I started watching your show, I felt invisible, like my life didn't matter anymore. But seeing how you treat people with respect and kindness, it reminded me that I still have value." The room fell silent as everyone absorbed the weight of her words. "Mrs. Washington," Terry said, his voice thick with emotion, "you have given me more than I could ever give you. You've reminded me why I do what I do." But Terry had one more surprise planned. As the afternoon wound down, Terry stood up and addressed the entire group of residents who had gathered. "Ladies and gentlemen, I came here today thinking I was going to brighten Mrs. Washington's day. But she's taught me something invaluable about real strength, real heroism, and what it means to have impact that lasts." He turned to Dorothy. "Mrs. Washington, you mentioned that you miss your weekly date nights with James, where you'd go dancing." Dorothy nodded, smiling sadly. "We used to go to the community center every Friday night for 45 years. Well, I can't bring James back, but..." Terry gestured to his production team, who began setting up a small speaker system. "Would you do me the honor of sharing a dance?" As music began playing, a classic jazz standard from the 1950s, Terry extended his hand to Dorothy. She stood up with tears streaming down her face. "I haven't danced in 3 years," she whispered. "Then we're overdue," Terry replied gently. As they slowly swayed to the music, not a dry eye remained in the room. The other residents watched as their friend, who had been so sad for so long, smiled with pure joy. "Thank you," Dorothy whispered to Terry as they danced. "You've given me back a piece of myself I thought was gone forever." When the song ended, the entire room erupted in applause, but Terry wasn't finished. "Mrs. Washington, I have one more thing. My team and I have arranged for Sunset Manor to have a new big-screen TV for your community room and a year's subscription to streaming services so you and your friends can watch all my shows together." But the biggest surprise came when Terry announced, "And every month, I'm going to call for your viewing party. You're stuck with me now." 6 months later, Dorothy's monthly phone calls with Terry have become legendary at Sunset Manor. She's become the unofficial social coordinator, organizing not just TV viewing parties, but game nights and discussion groups. The video of Terry's visit went viral, inspiring millions and prompting other celebrities to visit senior living facilities. But for Dorothy, the greatest gift was simply feeling valued and remembered. Today, at 91, Dorothy Washington continues to volunteer, mentor younger residents, and spread joy wherever she goes. She often says that Terry Crews didn't just give her a dance, he gave her back her zest for life. And Terry? He says that meeting Dorothy taught him that being someone's hero isn't about fame or strength. It's about recognizing the worth in others and taking the time to show them they matter. If this story of unexpected friendship and the power of human connection moved you, please hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and share this video with someone who needs to be reminded of their own worth. Your support helps us continue sharing stories that celebrate the beautiful moments that make us human. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.